Hey everybody, good morning. It is probably the morning for everybody here. It's 11:06 in the morning Eastern Time. It is the 26th of April 2021, and I'm here to give my analysis on the S&P 500, Nasdaq, Bitcoin, and I'm going to be focusing a little bit on some alts today because in the event that Bitcoin has bottom, alts should prove to be a good investment here in the short term. And we're talking maybe a couple weeks, right? I'm not talking like super long term at this point because the fact of the matter is a lot of alts have gone up several 100%. And now we're to that point where, like, are we going to be buying the top here? So I'm going to talk through all that. Before I get into any of this, of course, as you all know, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades. Manage your own risk, doing your own research. I'm just giving my opinion on the market. If you need access to our Discord server, there are 4 different options for you. There is the community, which is free. There is our insured, which is a low price every month. There's insured plus, which is a little bit more. There's more advanced options there. And then also there is the indicator only. So if you want access to the indicator, and that's all you want, there's an option there for you as well. You'll still get access to the Discord, to our community that is free, but you'll also get access to the indicator inside of TradingView. All those options are outlined for you on our website, which is bitdoctor.org. Feel free to poke in there, and of course, if you have any questions, feel free to ask away in the chat. Also, as I get into any of this, if there's anything you want me to take a look at, if you can catch me while I'm live, just let me know. Let me know, and I'll be more than happy to take a look at them while I'm here on the video. And of course, just another disclaimer: a lot of what I do is in real time. I don't really prepare anything ahead of time, so you're watching my brain work as I'm going through. Just for the record, this is all just me going through things for the first time or continuing what I have already started. Not a lot I have prepared ahead of time. So let's go ahead and move into the charts. Moving on into our Bitcoin chart, let's just take a look. So really not a whole lot has changed. As I mentioned, I don't prepare anything really ahead of time, so I'm going to make some adjustments to this. But assuming that this is kind of a major bottom right here, we've got, let me see if I can move myself over, from this 3 ABC into the 4. So we're working on a pretty bullish 5 here. And again, I've got a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3. This 3 is just hanging out up here. The 3 is there. And then I think we've got an expanded flat going here into wave 4, which means we should be moving into a wave 5. So let's just talk about this expanded flat here for a moment. I'm going to focus on this because this is really what's going to be determining what happens next. All right. So from here, I've counted a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into an A. And then I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the B, an expansion to the upside. It was kind of a weak expansion, but it was still an expansion to the upside. And then from there, I've got a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's talk about this. Obviously, things have happened since I put this in here. This 3 is here. And then this 4, I do believe, ended right there. And then we go down for the 5. Which was the completion of the 5, which is the completion of the C, which is the completion of wave 4. Okay, this looks like a good candidate for an expanded flat, which is pretty bullish. Let's just go ahead and dig in a little bit deeper here. Let's just focus in on this that everybody was paying attention to. We've got that, and then we've got this compression and then expansion to the downside. But this, again, this was just a wave 4. So from down here, A, B, C, D, E. It worked out. Now, I didn't take that trade because I was more interested in catching a long position. And if I did take this trade, the bigger question would be, would I have gotten out down here? I mean, I probably wouldn't have. If I was in this trade, I probably would have been hoping for lower prices, and that's not what happened. So I'm spot long. I try to leverage long. I mean, it was about right here when it happened. It was about right here where we tried to leverage long. Didn't work out. and that's okay. That's just the way it works sometimes. I'm still spot long, and that spot is in a really good position. We got that spot yeah, somewhere around 50. But at any rate, so now we're sitting up here. So now where do we go from here? Well, in my opinion, I think we've completed a wave 1 and we're working on a wave 2. I do think we're going to come back and retest this 51,000. But let's just talk. Are we going to go lower? Well, if we're going to go lower, let me pull this guy all the way down here to the bottom. Again, dominant pivot high to the dominant pivot low. So we're above this 382, which leads me to believe we're at least going to get to this 50. More than likely, we're going to get to the 618. So I want to see what happens at 57,000. Are we going to get to 57,000? I bet we are. So what I don't think we're in the middle of right now is from here, an A, a B, a C. I don't think that's what we're in right now. As a matter of fact, I think we're probably more along the lines of starting that wave 5, which means we should get from here a 1, get that pullback. I'm going to change the degree on this. Get the pullback for wave 2. Then I think we go up for a much bigger wave 3, 4, 5. I think that potentially is what could be in the cards next. Again, obviously this price action hasn't happened yet. But if we get a 618 pullback from here, let me remove this guy. If we get a 618 pullback, that's pretty bullish. Again, dominant pivot low. Let's make an assumption that this is going to be a dominant pivot high. I'm not saying that it is. So if we get a 618 pullback, I mean, that's pretty low. It may only get to the 50, right? Looking at the confluence here, and actually this 50 compared to where the price action currently is, let's just extend this guy. We're looking at an hourly chart. Pull this guy straight over, and what do we have? And I'm not getting a, there's my straight line. Okay, so let's just look at this. Let me zoom in, looking at an hourly chart. What do we have based on that 50? Well, we've got some resistance, resistance, support, resistance, 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 resistance. So if it does happen to come down here to about 50,500, I would expect that to be pretty strong support. The 618, that has previously been support, maybe a little bit of resistance. So if it did happen to come down here to the 618, I could see that being pretty strong. I'd be a buyer there any day. But that 50, you know, I'm seeing a little more confluence there. There was some support right here. And then again, we've already discussed what's been going on there. So if we did happen to come all the way down here, I say all the way down because that's still a $3,000 move to the downside. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. But waves does indicate that we could be seeing a little bit of a pullback. That 12-hour, though, we had a bullish cross on that 12-hour right here inside of this candle. And we had an expansion to the downside to trap sellers. And now we saw a big, big move to the upside. You all have to agree. This was a big move. We had some panic buying going on. But now waves is kind of exhausted. It wouldn't surprise me if we pulled back or if we just kind of move sideways a little bit for a few days. Got to let those indicators reset themselves. But what did we have? And guys, I apologize because I sound like a broken record whenever I say things like this, but waves called a buy back here, right? And again, the first time it called a buy was right here. If you bought on that first indication of a buy, that was on this candle right here. It was actually below where we're kind of expecting it to retrace to. All of this was an accumulation area. And I don't know how many people were really bullish there, but now look where the prices are. We are 3,300 or more above where that accumulation area was indicating. Now we're indicating a place where we are exhausting. Like, yeah, we had a pullback, but we had bullish divergence on that pullback on this 3-hour. I mean, you can see it. We had some bullish divergence on that one. And, you know, the 12-hour curled up after we had a bullish accumulation on this. And I can't tell you how many times that I've said this. You know, we had a buy right here and that chopped, right? But the 12-hour was on its way down. But when you get all three of these guys down here at the same time, historically speaking, that has been a great time to be buying. When was the last time? It was right here when the 1-hour, the 3-hour, and the 12-hour were all in oversold at the same time. Look at this. This was down here at 44,000. Look what happened. We come back down, and that 12-hour, you know, when it gets down below 25, that 12-hour in a bullish trend, right? And we have been in a bullish trend. There's no reason to believe otherwise at this point. We're still in a bullish trend right now. Whenever that 12-hour has gotten down there, it's been a really great time to be buying. That's all I'm saying. And that's all written in the indicator, right? So again, yeah, I'm expecting a little bit of a pullback probably in the next couple days. I'm still bullish overall though, right? So this pullback would be fine. I'd be fine with this. I'd be a buyer here. If it came back down here, I'd buy again if I had to. Best place to be buying was down here where we had this this indicator saying that it was a good place to be buying. And of course, you had multiple opportunities. Market usually gives you 2 opportunities, but not 3. So you had an opportunity to buy here. You had a second opportunity to buy, even better. And then, of course, the price took off. So now everybody's like, all right, well, I'm going to be buying. And now we're going to be pulling back. And what's going to happen? The price is going to pull back, and everybody's like, oh, you know, I'm at a loss. I'm going to go ahead and sell so I can buy back lower. When you should have been buying back here. And now that that price has launched, well, now we can talk about selling and buying lower because you're selling in profit. You're not selling for a loss. All right. Anyway, that's it for Bitcoin. I'm going to move into... let me close that guy. All right. I'm going to move into the S&P, and I'm going to move into Nasdaq. I'm going to take a look at some other stocks. So I want to take a look, not stocks, altcoins. I'm going to take a look at altcoins. So I'm going to take a look at all of these things. Let's go ahead and take a look at ES. So we're taking a look here at the S&P 500 futures, and this has been just a beautiful, beautiful chart. All right. So we've got a 3, 4, and then we've got a 5. Let me see if I can pull this guy back down here. This 5 right there. And then let me just delete this because again, I don't prepare this all ahead of time. I don't do that. But then we had this 5 and then we had a pullback. All right. So this was basically off of this low here. Again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3, 4, 5 into a 1. Then we've got a 2. I think we're working on the 3, then we go for a 4, and then we build up for a bigger wave 5. I think we've got much higher to go on the S&P 500, and I still think we can make our way up to about 4250, maybe even higher. That is to be determined. But again, off of this low here, I think I've got a nice candidate for a 1, 2, 3, 4, working on the 5. Where's that 5 going to go? We don't know yet. We don't know where that's going to go. It could be that we've got a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so maybe this 3 isn't in yet. I'd be okay with that as well. And what that would look like is a little something like this. And I'm going to try and push these guys out because, again, off of this low here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on a lower degree. Okay, lower the degree on that. Let me change the color for contrast. That is a good potential for putting in the wave 3. Bullish consolidation at the highs for wave 4. Then we go in for wave 5, which is only wave 3. Then we go down and more bullish consolidation for the wave 4. Then we go up for the wave 5. I still think we're going to see probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I think we're going to see prices on the S&P 500 above 4,200. You know, what did we have here? Biden said, yep, we're going to be raising corporate taxes. You know, he just said those words. Nothing has been passed. Then market had a bad reaction. But still, it didn't violate Elliott wave, right? We still didn't violate this low here. It still works. So off this low, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3, go into the 4, go into the 5, which is of the larger 3, down into the 4, then up into the 5. I still think we're going to see 4250. I still think it's going to happen. We may even go beyond that because there's a lot of people that are starting to get really bearish. Oh, we're up against resistance. We're up against resistance. Guys, let me just show you something. Let me just show you how many times the S&P 500 has been up against resistance. The S&P has been up against resistance every single time it makes a new high. It's up against resistance every single time, right? We're not getting a pullback, right? So right now, it looks very similar to what it looked like right here. Okay, and then we started an acceleration to the upside. Well, you know what? I'm looking at a weekly chart here. People right here, oh, it's up against resistance. Right here, it's up against resistance. It's up against resistance. So you're like short, 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 lose, 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 lose. And then finally it does create some resistance. Then it chops. Okay? I don't like to call tops for this reason, because there is big money in these markets, including crypto, right? I mean, crypto, you've got whales. In traditional markets, you have hedge funds. You've got, Goldman Sachs. You've got all of these big players that are really controlling the markets, trying to take money from you because you're trying to call tops, right? So, I mean, it is what it is. Let's take a look at Nasdaq. I'm going to move to 30-minute here. Again, Nasdaq making new highs, right? Same thing. Big sell-off. We were buying during this sell-off. We were buying down here. We didn't hit our stops because we have decent stop losses. But again, kind of going back to this, my downside target was 13,712, and we went down here to 13,700. You gotta trust yourself sometimes. We didn't go as high as I thought, but we did go as low as I was expecting. So now we get that pullback, and again, we're still looking at the same kind of move here. All right, so off of this, okay, hold on. All right, getting back here. All right, again, off of these lows, we've got the same thing, right? 1, 2, working on that 3, 4, 5. And then from down here, 1, 2, 3, deep 4. And then we're working on that 5. Put this guy on a higher degree because that's where he belongs. Belongs on a higher degree. All of this, probably just wave 1. We are going to get a pullback. We're going to get a pullback. But for right now, I mean, we just had a pullback. We had a pullback after pullback. And then we had rally after rally, and we are rallying again. So I'm bullish. I'm bullish on Nasdaq. I'm bullish on Amazon. I'm bullish on Google. I'm not so bullish on Tesla. And that's maybe me just being honest with you guys. I'm not bullish on Tesla. You may have just seen remnants of a chart that I've got on Tesla, and I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong. But I still think that Tesla still has potentially more room to the downside. I still think it is. As long as we are trading inside of this range, let me get to an hourly chart here. As long as we're trading inside, or really under, rather, I should be saying under. As long as we're trading under this channel, then I think, or really this trend line, I should say. As long as we're trading under that, I think we are still bearish. We're going to have to wait and see on that. Jury is out, but we're going to have to wait and see. We got some verticals on Tesla when the price was all the way down here, and that was a good move. We closed those out a long time ago. We made decent profit on those. But again, we hit that 100% expansion to the upside on this potential WXY. It looked pretty corrective to me. You can see right here, ABC, ABC, ABC. Now, where do we go from here? Well, if we had 5 waves down, 3 waves up, we should be seeing 5 more waves down. I would love to be bullish on Tesla, but I still think it's very possible Tesla comes all the way down here to about 420 to 450, somewhere in that neighborhood. Maybe it doesn't expand to this lower channel. Maybe it stays in this upper channel, in which case maybe it just makes a little bit of a flat, not an expanded flat, but just to kind of take ourselves down here to like maybe 540. I still think that it could be good. It still could be good. On the Bitcoin channel, I'm not going to talk too much about any longer term channels that we've got. I've got those shared with the insured group, and I'm not going to talk too much about any channels on Bitcoin. But I do have some thoughts that I posted in my charts to watch in the insured area to discuss there. But now I want to move into some altcoins. So let's do that. Let's take a look at some alts. I'm going to take a look at Doge, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, VeChain, Cardano, NU, and ICX. So I'll be taking a look at all of these guys. So let's start with Doge. This guy is just ridiculous. I mean, it is what it is. But I do think that the correction, if this is going to continue moving higher, and since Elon Musk is talking on Saturday Night Live on the 8th of May, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if this continued higher. Obviously, if I take this off of log, we hit that 123.6 perfectly. Not perfectly, but very, very well. We hit that 123.6. And again, all I'm doing here, and this is no secret, I talk about this all the time, dominant pivot high, dominant pivot low, internal retracement, and then where are my targets to the downside? Well, you've got the 618. We found some support there. It broke. We went down here to the 100. We didn't really find support, but we did at the 123.6. Good bounce off of that. So now that we've done that, well, what do we see? To the upside, dominant pivot low to the current high and the internal retracement. And we're going to do a fib pull on that here in just a moment. Just a moment. So 43 to 44 cents, very likely. Put this on log scale. Well, now we're talking 57 to 62 cents. I think both of those targets are possible. Both these targets are possible. Fib retracement, dominant pivot low to the current high. We found support at that 382. Okay, so if this is wave 1 and a wave 2, we would expect wave 3 to come all the way up here to about 60 cents. That's going to be a new high. 4, and then we go up higher. How high can Doge go? All right. Now, keeping in mind, I am not investing in Doge because I think it has already extended beyond where it should be, and I think when it does pull back, there, $1.05, right there, right there. Is Doge going to go to $1? There is your evidence on how Doge can go to $1, right there, $1 to $1.05 on Doge. Very possible, very possible. But I'm not playing Doge because, in my opinion, it has already expanded. We bought Doge in our server in November. How high has it gone since then? Thousands of percents. What's your upside potential from here? 300%. You can basically 4x your money. It can go up 300% from here. I'm not really willing to risk a whole lot on that because at this point it's a gamble. It's a gamble. You've already got retail that has already FOMO'd into this. The only way Doge is going to go up to $1 is if whales push it up there to get those last few pennies, and then they're going to sell. And what's going to happen to Doge? It's going to go back to a penny. It's probably going to go lower than that. That's what alts do. Just do a search on my channel for crypto altcoin scam. I did a video back in, I think, 2018. It is still valid today. Alts are scams. They are just a way for whales and people with deep pockets to trick retail investors to FOMO in, because that's what retail does. Retail buys green. I don't buy green. Okay, if I look at this on a daily chart, not a chart that I'm really willing to buy. This is already, look at what it's done. If you walked up to a hedge fund manager and asked them what their strategy was, and they told you, well, I wait for something to go up 200-300% and then I buy, I wouldn't give them my money. All right, anyway, yes, I am going to take a look at Litecoin. I'm going to take a look at Ethereum next, then I am going to take a look at Litecoin, absolutely. So let's take a look at Ethereum versus the dollar. Get off. I'll keep it on the daily because I've got a good chart here. I actually think I've got a really pretty good chart here on Ethereum right now. So again, for Ethereum, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This goes all the way back to December of 2018. 1, A, B, C into the 2. Then I think I can count 5 waves up from here pretty easily. Now, I didn't really dig into it, but from here, we've got a nice little 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finish that move into wave 1. Okay, so I think we've got a nice 1 ABC into the 2. Then, man, I can count 5 waves up here into the 3, but I think it's more like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice ending diagonal. in my opinion, into that wave 3. Again, dominant pivot low, dominant pivot high, internal retracement. That's what I'm doing with this guy right here. So we have extended beyond the 1618 to the 175. So I am of the opinion Ethereum is going to make its way for wave 3 at about $4,500. I think it's going to happen. Do I think Ethereum is going to make its way up to 20,000? That's a stretch. I don't think that's going to happen, but the algo target is sitting up there, so I'm going to keep it up there. Excuse me. Very interested to see what happens at 4,500. Now, again, with Ethereum, that's still not quite 2x from where we're at right now, but it's still good. It's still good. Is right now a good time to buy Ethereum? Well, let's just take a look. Go down to the hourly. Indicator is programmed to be optimal on an hourly time frame, and let's just look and see where the indicator said to buy. Indicator said to buy basically on this big red candle, and you can see what's happened since then. So I'm bullish on Ethereum. I think that it looks good. We can see that same expanded flat scenario right here on Ethereum. So from up here, ABC, 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 and then we go up from there. And so far, that's exactly what's happened. Now, keep in mind, Ethereum didn't go as low compared to the price as Bitcoin did. Right here, Bitcoin made a new low, right? Right here, this spiked down, Bitcoin made a new low and it violated this low. It went down here before it spiked up. Ethereum didn't do that. Alts are stronger than Bitcoin right now, period. Not all of them, but most of them, I believe they are. Let's take a look at Litecoin. Litecoin versus USD. All right, again, Litecoin didn't make a lower low. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. So the counts are going to be different. We did have a bullish cross on Litecoin right here on this candle. Let me just zoom in so you can see it. Again, if you've got the indicator, you know how these work. When you see this big bright green candle, it means that you've got a bullish cross on the 12-hour. You see this red dot down here? That's a bullish cross on the 12-hour. This is bullish. This favors more upside. And just look at that 12-hour. Since that has crossed, it looks good for continuation to the upside. Yes, just like Bitcoin, we look like we're running out of a little bit of steam. But in my opinion, Litecoin is going to go much higher. Go to a daily, not a weekly. Let's go to a daily on Litecoin here. Okay? So again, very similar. We're going to do the same thing that we did for Ethereum. Dominant pivot low. We're going to estimate here dominant pivot high. We got our pullback. Right there. I'm on log scale. Upside $500. Okay? That wave 3 is looking at $500. What is our wave 5 target? 3,200. I mean, this would mean that Bitcoin goes to $100,000. If that happens, then these, what seem like crazy prices, are going to be very possible. Now, right now, Litecoin is at $250. For Litecoin to go from where it's at now to that high, that's 1,200% compared to where it's at right now. But you will have to hold that. And I wouldn't, if you're planning on going for $3,200, you are not going to want to trade this. You are going to want to hold this if you're looking for that. And you're going to be holding it for at least 8 months. At least 8 months. You're going to have to figure out how you want to manage this, because crypto is very volatile. Wouldn't surprise me one bit to see this guy go, up and then pull back before it moves up higher. You're going to have to, you're really going to have to gut it to buy on a big significant drop. For Litecoin to go from where it's at 243 down to 150, that's a $100 move from where it's at right now. That's like 40%. That's a significant move to the downside. So you're going to have to weigh the risk on whether or not you want to do that for the potential that Litecoin could go, again, all the way up to potentially $3,200. The algo target is there. The question is it going to get there? Is it going to get there? That's a great question. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin Cash. I'm also pretty bullish on Bitcoin Cash. Okay, So take a look at this. I mean, this is a really great example of a chart that I haven't touched in a long time, but that downside target right there, it was already hit at 683. That was already hit. Looking at the daily, let me move out to like a 4-hour here. So what did I say was going to happen? It was right here. I was like, we're probably going to go up here, and at that time it was about 1161. Where did it go? Right here, 1220. That was also wave 5. That already worked out. Downside target, where did I say it was going to go? Well, I said, basically right down here at about 680, 700. Where did it go? 686. So that could be done. That would be very, very fast, to be honest. That would be very, very fast. But what's my further upside on Bitcoin Cash? My further upside is going to be about $2,500. I actually think Bitcoin Cash can go much, much higher than that. So just for the record, I still think Bitcoin Cash has more upside. I also believe if I go to an hourly time frame here, Bitcoin Cash, looking at that 12-hour, great area to be buying. Right now, it's at resistance. It is at textbook resistance right now. All right, so let's just take a look at this. Let me remove this guy, remove him. Let's just look at resistance for the moment. Right here, we are sitting at resistance right now. If we can push up above this, get the retest, and then it's going to go much, much higher. If we are bullish, that wave 4 is in, and we just completed a 1, 2. You could say, excuse me, this is like an A, B, C, D, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here into the 4. So 5, and then a triangle, and then a 5, then a 1, 2. Again, just like the other alts, did not make a new low here. Did not make a new low. Bitcoin did. That just tells me that Bitcoin is weaker than alts are. I think alts have more upside potential. Use the tools that I have given you to make decisions on what you want to invest in, and use the knowledge that I have given most of you on how to manage your trade and how not to lose your shirt. Because just as much as crypto goes up, it can go down just as much. It can go up thousands of percents, but it only needs to go down 50% for you to lose a lot of money. You can make a lot of money, but you can lose a lot really, really fast. Okay, let's keep on going. I want to take a look at VeChain. VeChain versus Tether. We're going to again look at this on the premise that, again, we may have bottomed here for that wave 4. Okay, moving this guy over. Is that wave 4 done? We've got a nice 1, 2, 3 waves down. It looks corrective. Let's measure it. Dominant pivot high, obvious dominant pivot low. Get that pullback. Where did we go? We did go kind of low. If we get off of log scale, we hit that 123.6. That's good. That's good. That's a good correction. Now, a nice 1, 2. I mean, this sucker was down at 13 cents, and now it's at 18 cents. That doesn't sound like a lot, but you know what? It is. That's up 40% from the lows so far, and I still think that we are not done. We had a buy on the waves indicator on that spike down on VeChain. Right there. Buy. Right here, we had another buy. Bad one was right here, but in my opinion, I wouldn't have taken this one because that 12-hour was still heading down. I probably would not have taken this one either, if I'm just being upfront and honest with you. This one, not so bad because that 12-hour is getting down there. And then we also had a bullish cross like 1 or 2 candles later, right? So again, you can see it. There's your big bright green candle right there. Now, yes, we've got a red candle here, which means that, it may continue to decline, but I would still be more inclined to be bullish because we also had the 1 hour and the 3 hour that were both in oversold at the same time. And moments later, you had the bullish cross on the 12 hour. So it looks bullish, right? It looks bullish. Let's keep on going. Let's take a look at Cardano. Cardano sitting at $1.22. Not too terrible. I'd love for it to get back to $1.50. I would love for it to get back up there. Is that going to happen? Well, again, let's just measure this guy. So we're going to measure this one first. Yes. Yes. Okay. So what we're measuring here, we may be in a more complex correction on Cardano because we could have a 1, 2, 3, because we extended beyond this 1618 to the 175. And then 4, ABC, 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 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into this 5, and then 1, 2. You know, we may see further downside on Cardano, and I hate to say that because I like Cardano. Up, and then get this pullback. Cardano looks like it may only go to about $1.30 to $1.36. I'm very interested in what happens here, especially in this zone right here. It's got to push through that. It's got to push up and through that and reclaim that as support to see higher prices. I am bullish on alts, but I'm cautious with Cardano because, you know, that's one that has also gone up several hundred, probably 1,000% from the lows at like 2 to 4 cents. It was like 2 to 4 cents. Now it's at $1.22. So I'd be very careful. I would say that Cardano and Doge are very similar kinds of investments. You know, both of them are available to retail, especially in the United States. So I would just be very careful with these. You need to see a push up above $1.30 in order to, you know, really remain pretty bullish on Cardano. But where can it go? Where can Cardano go? Well, let's just go ahead and remove some of these guys. Where can Cardano go? Let me get myself back on log scale here. So we've got this 3 here. If this 4 is done, if the 4 is done, I may actually have to go to the daily on this guy. If that wave 4 is done, right up here at about $2.87, more than likely is where this guy is going to, about 250, 280, somewhere around there. We're going to go for wave 4. And then where's our ultimate top on Cardano? Well, in my opinion, it's going to be up here at about $22. Now, again, we're talking later this year. We're not talking about today. We're not talking about tomorrow. Later this year, that $1.22 could turn into $20 or more. That, again, would be significant, especially from where it has come from. So, am I saying to buy right now at $1.22 and it's going to turn into $24 by the end of the year? No. No, I'm not saying that. If you go in with that mentality, that's when I'm going to be wrong. And I have been wrong, and I will be wrong in the future. I'm just saying the chart tells me that if wave 4 is done, it's going to go to 287. It's going to do a pullback, probably back down to where it's at right now, if I'm being honest. But that upside target is going to be sitting up there at about $22. About 22 bucks. So just be careful, right? Diversify. Don't go all into one asset. Don't do that. I've got 2 more that I'm going to be taking a look at here that I'm going to go ahead and end it for the day. I've been going for about 38 minutes. I'm going to try and keep it under 45 today. Take a look at NU, and I'm going to take a look at ICX. NUUSD. How much history do we have on NUUSD? Let's just take a look. Probably not a whole lot on Coinbase. Well, okay. All right. Actually, I take it back. It looks like I've already taken a look at this, and we had a downside target about 40 cents. And we've already gone beyond that, so let's just take a look here. Remove. Yeah, that went to the 382. Let me go to an hourly chart here for a moment, and let's just see what we've got. We've got a little bit of a pullback right now. Of course, Waves is saying, you know, it's a good time to be buying. From this low to that high, I don't know. I still feel like this guy, even though everything looks good, I feel like he probably can go lower because he didn't go as high as I was expecting, right? Because, I mean, I removed this, but again, I had from here, I had us going higher before we came down to this price. Since we went lower, I would expect this also to go lower. So I really would expect him to go a little bit lower, maybe down to about 30 cents. Would I be a buyer on NU at 30 cents? I think that's probably where I would be interested in buying. NU at 30 cents. For right now, I mean, it's at 40 cents right now, which means it could potentially lose about 25% in value. And I'm bullish on alts, so maybe this guy just goes up. But, you know, it's not something that I would be interested in buying. If I did, if I did buy NU, I mean, I think this candle is a good candle to be a buyer. I would put my stop loss, like if I were to buy right now, I'd put my stop loss at this low right here, because you don't want that low to be violated, right? You had this low that got rated, and now we are kind of, we're in a pretty significant downward candle, 5.57% just this hour. To put that stop loss there, it's like a 10% loss, but what's your upside potential? I mean, your upside potential, if we bottomed, is huge. You're talking like 100, 200% from where we're at right now. I mean, that risk to reward is worth it. Even if you were only to take it to, like this median point right here, that's 57%. That's 6-to-1 risk to reward ratio. That's not terrible. Not terrible. Do I think we're going to get a relief rally? I mean, more than likely, we probably will. But are you going to sell so that you can, capture those gains before it comes back down? Because crypto will come back down. Crypto will crash again. I mean, it's just the market cycle. It's what's going to happen. So that's my thought on NU. Let's take a look at ICX. ICX, what does this one look like? Actually, it looks pretty good. We had our low that was sitting right here at about $1.52, and that hit. That hit. Nice expanded flat right there. So that is completed. That's complete. So that works out. Nice expanded flat. Let's go and take a look. Yeah, the 12-hour looks really good. Let's take a look at the daily. All right, so the daily on this guy, again, 1, 2. This may not actually even be the highest. Let's take a look. Dominant pivot high, dominant pivot low. Yeah, I would say ICX probably is going to make its way up to, yeah, that's still sitting up here. About a 11.52, and we're sitting at $2. So this thing can still go up 5x from where it's at. Still very possible. And we're currently sitting at about $1.98. Again, am I saying to buy ICX and just hold it forever and that it's going to go and hit that target of 11.52? No, I'm not saying that. You need to manage your risk. But I would say that as long as $1.52 holds, that 11.52 is going to be sitting up there. But you're going to have to wait. Again, you're going to have to be patient. Because again, like I was saying, that this probably wasn't the high. I'm looking at this 1, 2, taking a look at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into this wave 3 before we see wave 4, before we see that wave 5. So again, we could see a lot more chop in this area. Still could go up 100% from where it's at right now, come all the way back down. Really, that would be a nice little pump and dump. And then people forget about it, and people give up, and that's when it makes that huge run to the upside. So it's just market psychology. It's market cycles. You're going to have this big move up, maybe to $5. Then you're going to watch it come all the way back down, because you're going to buy here saying, well, I'm not going to sell it till it hits $11. It goes all the way up here to $5, and you're like, all right, we're on our way. And then it comes all the way back down. You watch all of those profits disappear. And then down here, you're like, well, I guess we're just going to keep on going down. Or maybe you even sell at a loss. Then what happens? Well, then it does exactly what you thought it was going to do. But the problem is, markets do not move in one direction. They move in waves. So capture profits and just wait for another trade setup to come to you before you take it all the way up there to that moonshot. Because then what happens is you capture profit so you can afford to have wider stops. If you haven't been capturing profits and you've just been selling at losses, you're just watching your bankroll just disappear. You're watching your available equity just disappear. Capture profits, find another trade, another high probability trade with a good risk to reward ratio, and take that trade. And you can afford a higher risk if you have been capturing profits along the way. All right, guys. I think that's all I've got for you right now. If you need access to our Discord server, there is a link in the video description. You can access through BitDoctor.org. You can access all of our different options for gaining access to the Discord server, getting access to our insured membership, getting access to the indicator. All of that is available for you to see on BitDoctor.org. Go ahead and go there, take a look. And if you have any questions, feel free to pop in the Discord, ask away. Feel free to throw comments in the YouTube chat. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have. If this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, you know the deal. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Enable alerts. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day.